Today we're going to be talking about equations that involve addition and subtraction. So the first thing that we need to do before we get started here is we need to figure out what the word equations means, because we can't practice equations involving addition and subtraction until we truly know what an equation is. So an equation is it's a mathematical statement or sentence that two things are equal. Okay, so we can think of equation as having the first four letters of equal in it, and that can kind of be a little bit of a clue to remember that equation means that it has an equal sign. Okay, so the statement 5 plus 4 equals 9 is an example of an equation. Just like 10 minus 4 equals 6 is an example of an equation. Do you think 1 plus 1 is an equation? Hopefully you said no, because it does not have an equal sign. 1 plus 1 on its own is not an equation. That would be known as an expression. But if I had 1 plus 1 equals 2, then that would be an equation. Okay, so when we're studying equations today, we know that we need to have that equal sign in it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, in this unit, we're going to have some unknown elements in our equations. So we'll often use maybe a box to represent that unknown. Maybe we'll use a question mark to represent our unknown. Later, when you guys get into higher grades, you'll start to use something called a variable, which is a letter to represent that unknown. So quite often you'll see N or X. What is X, right? So this is kind of getting into pre-algebra a little bit, but we still keep it pretty simple in grade 4. So let's start out with our unknown, our variable, plus 12. Okay, remember this is an expression, but if I want to make it an equation, I need to put that equal sign in, and then I have 32. Okay, so right now I know that something that I don't know plus 12 equals 32. Okay, so there's a couple different ways that you can try to solve this equation. Okay, maybe you want to draw out counters. Okay, so I could draw out 32 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay, so I have 32 counters here. And then a way for me to figure it out is by figuring out, I need to figure out this missing piece, okay? But I know that whatever that thing is, I need to add 12 to it in order to get 32. Okay, so if I have 32 things, that means if I actually take away 12 from 32, I should get my unknown variable. Okay, so I can do that with my drawing, or I can do that with my math skills. Okay, so I'm gonna show both, obviously. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I took away 12. So in theory, whatever I have left should be my unknown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I have 20 counters that are, I took those 12 away. So let's double check to my maths right. So 2 minus 2 equals 0. 3 minus 1 equals 2. Okay, so a really quick way to check to see if your work is right is by plugging that number that you got into your equation. So 20 plus 12 equals 32. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. So I got that question correct. So let's try another one together. So here, again, I'm just going to use a box to represent my unknown. You might see it in your textbook as a triangle. Maybe you'll see it as a question mark, like I said. Maybe you'll see it as just a blank, right? It could be anything. So, square plus 5 equals 11. Okay, so I know that some number plus 5 equals 11. So some of you already might be able to figure this out in your head, but there's a couple methods. Again, we could draw out 11 counters and then subtract 5 from it, but I know that I want that unknown all alone on one side. Okay, so I'm going to take away 5 from this side and take away 5 from this side. These 5s actually cancel out, because if I'm plussing 5, if I'm adding 5 and then I'm taking 5 away, it's just going to cancel out. So I'm not going to have that anymore. And then I'm going to have my square equals whatever 11 minus 5 is. Okay, so I know 11. Again, I could draw this out if I wanted to. So 11 minus 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I could take away my 5, right? Or I could go 11 minus 5. I know that is 6. Okay, so again, plug in that unknown number into your equation. Does 6 plus 5 equal 11? It does. So I got that question correct. We're going to do one more this time. So we're going to do a subtraction question this time. So this time I'm going to use a triangle to represent my unknown variable. I'm going to go triangle minus 4 equals 9. Okay, so here, my unknown variable, I'm subtracting 4 in order to get 9. Okay, so think about it. I always like to think about equations as a teeter-totter. Comment in the questions below what kind of class lever this teeter-totter is. But I always think of it as a teeter-totter, okay? So it needs to be balanced, okay? So both sides of the equation need to be balanced. And remember, I want to try to get that unknown all alone on that one side, okay? So I know that if I subtract 4 from that unknown, I get 9. So I need to add 4 to both sides of my equation. Remember, subtracting by 4 and plussing 4 cancels each other out, because if I take 4 cookies away from you, but then your mom gives you 4 cookies, then you're going to have you're going to break even, right? So now we have our triangle all alone on the one side, and our triangle needs to equal 9 plus 4. 9 plus 4 equals 13. And again, let's check our math. So plug in that unknown. 13 minus 4 equals 9. So the last one we're going to do together, so let's do 21 equals 27 minus our triangle. Okay, so now again, this one might be a little tricky, because 26 minus something equals 21. So how can we figure out what that is? Maybe for this one, we want to try to model it or draw it. Okay, so I'm going to start out with 27 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oop, accidentally drew too many. So I have 25 here plus 2. So I know that if I take away some amount, some unknown amount, then I am going to equal 21. So I want to leave myself with 21 and see how many I took away. So now that I have 27 counters, I'm going to count out 21 of them. So I have 5 in this row, 10 in this row together, 15. Oh, sorry, I didn't draw enough. Miss King is... So now I have 27, I apologize. Okay, so I have 5 in this row, 10 in this row, 15 in this row, 20 in this row. So I need all of these plus 1. Okay, so if I have 27 things, how many do I need to take away in order to make 21 things? So I have 21 things here. How many did I take away from 27? Well, let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I had taken away 6 things. Another way we could have figured this out is by, again, trying to make this all alone. So if I know that 27 minus something equals 21, then it follows that our triangle is going to equal whatever 27 minus 21 is. 27 minus 21, 7 minus 1 is 6, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So our answer, again, is 6. Please remember that when you do this, guys, always check your work. It takes an extra 10 seconds to plug that answer in and see if it makes sense. Ask yourself, 27 minus 6, is that 21? Oh, it is? Perfect, I got that question right. So it takes that extra couple seconds just to check your work, but it will help you so much in the long run. Please comment below if you have any questions. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.